You're listening to the Otis Jiry channel.
Recent Unexplained Mysteries from Across the World. Narrated by Otis Jiry. Unexplained loud booms worldwide. The deafening sounds which have been heard in dozens of locations this year remain unexplained. It's a phenomenon that has been reported in countries all across the globe, yet despite widespread efforts to get to the bottom of the mystery, nobody seems to be any closer to finding the answer. The most recent example, which shook houses and prompted several calls to the police from concerned locals, was reported in the U.S. state of Alabama at around 9 p.m. on Monday night. Despite investigating the disturbance, authorities were unable to find the source of the sound. According to the Birmingham, Alabama National Weather Service, we do not see anything indicating large fire or smoke on radar or satellite. Nothing on USGS indicating an earthquake. Over the last 12 months, similar incidents have been reported in Lapland, in northern Finland, Swansea in England, and the Eyre Peninsula in South Australia, and many other locations. Dark streaks on the Martian surface thought to be evidence of water may actually be little more than sand. Back in 2015, there was much excitement in the scientific community when NASA's Director of Planetary Science, Jim Green, declared that evidence of liquid water had been found on Mars. Now, though, a new study has cast this discovery into serious doubt by suggesting that the dark streaks observed on the planet's surface may actually be little more than sand dunes. Known as recurring slope lineae, RSL, these distinctive surface features have been described by researchers as inconsistent with models for water sources and are instead identical to the slopes of sand dunes where movement is caused by dry granular flows. Water almost certainly is not responsible for this behavior, which would require the volume of liquid to correspond to the length of slope available, producing more liquid on longer slopes. Self-taught rocket scientist Mad Mike Hughes is hoping to reach 1,800 feet in his own steam-powered rocket to prove flat earthers are correct in their conclusions about the shape of the Earth. Hughes, who described himself as a daredevil, is certainly no stranger to madcap capers, having previously broken his back twice while undertaking extreme stunt car jumps. Following on from an earlier successful rocket launch in 2014, this latest endeavor will see him climb high over California in a homemade steam-powered rocket that cost around $20,000 to build. "I don't believe in science," he said. "I know about aerodynamics and fluid dynamics and how things move through the air, but that's not science, that's just a formula." The stunt is being backed by a Flat Earth research group, and Hughes hopes that he will eventually be able to launch high enough to directly observe the planet's flatness for himself. "It's scary as hell, but none of us are getting out of this world alive," he says. Back in October, aviation authorities investigated an unidentified aircraft flying over the West Coast. Reports state that on the afternoon of October 25th, airline pilots between Portland and Seattle were contacted by air traffic controllers to ask if they could help identify a mysterious object in the area. The UFO, which failed to respond to radio communications, was missing a traffic collision avoidance system, TCAS transponder, and even stranger still, did not show up on radar at all. It was described as being white in color and spotted at an altitude of around 40,000 feet. Several pilots reported seeing it, however none were close enough to be able to identify what it was. In the end, the Oregon National Guard F-15 fighters were sent up to intercept the object. However, despite a thorough search of the area, they failed to find any sign of it. Could some sort of classified aircraft or military drone account for the sightings that day? As things stand, the origin and nature of the object continue to remain a total mystery. Scientists believe that interstellar dust streams might be able to transfer organisms between planets. The idea that life can be transferred around the cosmos on comets and asteroids, a concept known as Panspermia has been around for years, but now researchers at the University of Edinburgh have put forward the idea that even the smallest of particles may be capable of carrying life to other worlds. The study centers around the fact that the Earth's atmosphere is being bombarded on a constant basis by fast-flowing streams of interplanetary dust particles. If these particles were to collide with particles in our own atmosphere at sufficient velocity, there is a chance they could be propelled out into space and off towards other planets. It is also possible that microorganisms such as tardigrades, which are known to survive in space, could hitch a ride on these particles and make their way to other worlds. There is even a chance that alien organisms might have reached our own planet the same way. According to Professor Arjun Barrera from the University of Edinburgh's School of Physics and Astronomy, the proposition that space dust collisions could propel organisms over enormous distances between planets raises some exciting prospects of how life and the atmospheres of planets originated. The streaming of fast-paced dust is found throughout planetary systems and could be a common factor in proliferating life. And that's this week's Unexplained Mysteries of the World.